The letter that took its time. I didn't check the mailbox right away today, and that feels important to clarify. I made tea. I opened the shutters. I let the tavern wake up slowly around me. The air drifting in from the lake carried that cool Burlington calm that makes even hurried thoughts slow their pace. For a while, I stood behind the bar and simply listened to the quiet settle into its proper shape. I love Vermont. Only after all of that, I step outside. The mailbox was waiting, patient. I opened it and found a single envelope resting at the bottom, like it had been there longer than any of the others. The paper was worn soft at the edges, like it had traveled a great distance that didn't entirely belong to roads. Well, I said quietly, you took your time. I brought it inside before opening it. The handwriting was uneven, careful but hesitant. Dear Lion, I started this letter 3 times. I kept stopping it because I wasn't sure if it was worth saying. When I left your tavern, I thought I'd come back in a month. Then a year passed. Then another. I kept meaning to return once I had something impressive to show for the time. I don't. I just have a quieter life than I expected. A smaller one. But it's mine, and I'm not running from it anymore. I think I learned that at your bar. I'm sorry it took me so long to say thank you. I read that part twice, not because it was complicated, because it was honest. There's a particular courage in admitting that your life didn't become what you imagined, and that discovering you're allowed to love it anyway. A quieter life is not a failed one. It is simply a different measure of success, and often a kinder one. I set the letter down and let the thought settle. Out here, where the lake meets the city and everything feels suspended between movement and stillness, it's easy to forget that quiet lives carry their own kind of gravity. They don't announce themselves, they endure. Sometimes it's enough to build something steady and stay. As I reached to tuck the letter safely behind the bar, my fingers brushed against another envelope I hadn't seen. Oh no, it was smaller, brighter. The handwriting leaned aggressively to the right, like it was in a hurry to be finished. I opened it carefully. Dear Lion, I am writing to inform you that your cat has committed a crime. Last winter, a cat that looks exactly like yours stole half of my sandwich while maintaining eye contact the entire time. I respected the confidence, but feel justice must be acknowledged. If this is not your cat, please disregard this letter. But if it is, tell him I forgive him. The sandwich was average. Respectfully, a wronged but understanding citizen. I lowered the letter slowly and looked at the cat. The cat was already looking at me, unblinking. I glanced back at the letter. Do you have anything to say in your defense? The cat stretched, entirely untroubled. I nodded. That's about what I expected. Alex leaned over slightly. What happened? The cat, I told him, has apparently been pardoned for sandwich theft. Alex looked at the cat with a kind of impressed respect. Good for him. The cat accepted that praise as its due. I tucked both letters behind the bar, one for patience, one for perspective. If you're waiting to say something because you think it needs to be impressive, I said, glancing toward the door, it doesn't. I rested my hand on the wood for a moment, and if you've been holding on to a small grievance, it may already be forgiven. Outside, the mailbox stood quietly as if pleased with itself. I was beginning to suspect it enjoyed balance, and I was beginning to appreciate that.